Welcome to our weekly Forex forecast, and this is for trading for the week of May 10th to the 14th, 2021. Just a quick disclaimer here before we get started. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful with your money. As usual, we'll start off by taking a look at our calendar here. So coming up, excuse me, we have all right, so Monday, not that important. Looks like we may have a slow day here. We do have Chinese CPI numbers, and it looks like they are moving upwards, which is okay. If they are too high, then that would be a concern, but otherwise it should be okay. We have ZEW economic sentiment numbers here from Germany on Tuesday. And then we have Bank of England, Governor Bailey speaking. So here again, it would just be the forward guidance that we are concerned about. Any kind of concerns in regards to inflation going up would be concerning, or any concerns in regards to the economic recovery would be some things to watch out for. A bunch of FOMC members speaking here as well, and we have EU economic forecast here. These will be important, especially with the multiple shutdowns and stuff with the coronavirus. So if the economic forecasts are poor, that will have a negative impact on euro. We have CPI numbers here for the US. These are, again, very important indicators because we heard Yellen talk about potentially raising rates. Not raising rates, sorry, pulling the date that we could see interest rates go up into sooner rather than later into 2023 as opposed to later. So that's something to watch out for, or I should say 2022, I think she had mentioned. So anyway, so any sort of moving the date up of the interest rate hikes or change in monetary policy can have a positive impact on the US dollar and negative impact on the stock market. And then we have the bond auctions here on Thursday. The London session here may be slow because of the holiday in Europe here. We do have Bank of Canada here. So Bank of Canada, again, so Canadian Bank of Canada has also hinted at, or they actually mentioned that they're going to pull forward the date that they were going to raise rates. They had initially said they're going to wait till 2023, but now that has been, that date or the timing has been moved to 2022. And this is why the Canadian dollar has been strong. So anytime we hear the change in monetary policy, even if they hint at it, that will have an impact on the currency. So if the forward guidance stays the same, so if they still talk about 2022, that would be good for the Canadian dollar. ECB monetary policy meeting account, so same thing here. Two things we will watch out for here would be concerns about the economic recovery, and the second thing would be a change in monetary policy. So anything, if they again tighten the monetary policy, that will be good for euro, but any kind of weakness in the economic forecast will be bad for euro, and it will weaken it. Retail sales numbers here, these are important as well. Right now, looks like we are expecting a drop here. If the drop is more than expected, that would be negative for the US dollar. And then just consumer sentiment numbers here as well on Friday. All right, so let's move on to our charts here. Okay, so we'll start off with euro here. There was a big jump here in euro. We did see on Friday that the jobs numbers were positive. So last week it has been bullish for, we did see that initial drop, but price came into this support. And as we can see, nice bounce off of the support. And now we have a nice bullish candle close here. So just keep in mind, price is into resistance. So that's something to be careful about. If price is not able to go through, then we could see a turnaround. But right now it's looking bullish. So at this point, I will look for we may get a bit of a pullback here towards 1.2120, and then looking for a further move to the upside. So we're looking for a continuation move here into the resistance at 1.2230. So right now, bias is bullish. So should it continue through, we could see it move higher again into 1.23. So right now, bullish bias, but watch out for resistance at 1.2230 level. This is where we could see things turn around. So bullish bias for euro dollar. Pound here, pound as well went up on Friday, that move higher here. So with this one has been trading in a range for some time. So watch out for the resistance that it's coming into. This is a strong resistance level. This is where price has failed multiple times. So if it fails to go through it, we could see a move back into the range here, and we could see a range bound move. However, bias is bullish. So once we are able to see price hold on the other side, then it could continue higher all the way into 1.4240. So in this case, bullish bias with caution here though, because of this major resistance. But if it goes through it, then 1.4150 and 1.4230 will be the next two targets here for pound dollar. Aussie dollar here, this one also broke out of that range. Now, keep in mind though, it's still into resistance, so it's just something to be careful about, but it is looking bullish. And in terms of our targets here, first target is 0.7950, then 0.80. So bullish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar looking quite bullish here. And in terms of our weekly, this one is also into resistance level. So watch out here. This is an important resistance, but it does have room to go higher. So bias is bullish here. And in terms of our targets, first target is 0.7370 and 0.7460. So bullish bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here still looking bearish. Canadian dollar has done well because of the change in, or at least them talking about a change in monetary policy here. So looks nicely bearish still, looking for a further drop here towards 1.2060. And then second target here is 1.1935. So bearish bias here for a dollar CAD. Euro pound here, this one is still trading in a range. Price wasn't able to hold below the support level, so we are back here into the range. So looking for a further range bound move, and it will only turn bullish if it's able to go through the resistance here, which it hasn't done yet. So we'll wait on that and we'll watch it on the daily. Euro Swiss franc here, this one is still bearish. So in this case, we did see a bit of a bounce off of the support level, so it could go higher and before it drops. So in this case, looking for price to pull back a bit towards the bottom of that range it was stuck in for a bit. So this is what I'm looking for. So first target is 1.0920 and 1.0870. So bearish bias here for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc here. This one's looking bearish as well, as we can see prices right into the support here though, so be careful. Next target is 1.2460. Actually, I should say 1.2550 and 1.2460 will be the one after that. So this one's holding here below the resistance level, which is a good sign. That means we may see a further move to the downside, but watch out for a pullback here and then looking for a further drop. So bias here is bearish for pound Swiss franc. Dollar Swiss franc took quite a dive the other day, and mainly because of the positive jobs report suggesting that the economy is recovering. So in this case, bias is bearish, and I would look for a continuation move to the downside here, back into the level where price took off here. So we are all the way back. So this inefficient move here is getting filled now. So looking for move back into the support. Target here is 0.8950. So bearish bias here for dollar Swiss franc. All right, the yen crosses here. Let's start off with pound yen. So pound yen overall still trading in a range. It is coming into resistance, so be mindful of that. Right now, bias is bullish, but again, this is the resistance where it has struggled previously. So if it doesn't break through the resistance, it could go back into the range, and this is the range it's been trading in. Now, there is room to the upside. So, sorry, excuse me. Sorry about that. All right, so in this case, the first target here would be 152.50 and then 153. So bias here is bullish for pound yen. Euro yen here, this one is also looking bullish. As we can see, price has been moving higher. It broke through the resistance, and now we are seeing that continuation to the upside here. So bullish bias, next target is very close here, 132.40. But of course, again, there is room to the upside. So as long as the stock market here continues to go higher, we are likely to see the yen crosses go higher as well. So overall, this bullish bias is still intact, or bullish move is still, or the trend, I should say, is still intact. So looking for a continuation here. And this is where we come into a strong support resistance level here. So this was a very strong resistance level. First it was support, and now it has turned into resistance. So we are almost there. So watch out for that. Bias is bullish. 132.40 and 133.15 is the second target. Dollar yen here, again, US dollar did not do well, just across the board. It has not been holding. So with this here, this is looking more neutral right now. We do have bearishness in here, but it's been trading in this range. So I'm looking for a range bound move here. One thing to watch out for would be this here. We could see price just go sideways. So that's one, but the actual outside range is this one here. So we could get something like this as well. So right now, neutral to bearish bias, 107.60 will be the next target. Aussie yen, this one also looking bullish here. As we can see, prices all the way into the top of the range here. This is where it has been holding. And now looks like we may get that continuation move to the upside here. So this is, once it breaks through this resistance here, we're looking for basically a continuation higher. So bullish bias here. Watch out for the resistance at 85.50, and then next target is 87.20. So bullish bias here for Aussie yen. New Zealand yen as well, right into the resistance here, and looking bullish. As we can see, prices, all the yen crosses are bullish right now. A lot of positive risk sentiment in the market. Again, but keep in mind, it is into resistance, so we could see some struggles here. This is a nice strong support resistance level. So going higher, once it passes through, then there's a lot of room to the upside all the way into 81.60. But in this case, the first target would be 80.50 and then 81.60. So bullish bias, but again, watch out for the resistance that's coming up here. CAD yen here, this one continued as we were expecting last week. So this one's still looking bullish here. And any sort of comments in regards to tightening the monetary policy will be good for Canadian dollar. So we could see a further continuation. Now with this one here, price is into the support resistance level here. So just be mindful of that, just be careful. But bullish bias, once we see price go through 89.85 level, then 90.75 is the next target. So bullish bias for CAD yen as well. All right, so moving on to our commodities here. Nice break here for silver. So this is looking bullish here. Watch out for a bit of a pullback. before we see a continuation. So looking for this type of a move. So still bullish here. And first target is 27 or 28, I should say, then 28.30. So bullish bias here for silver. Gold as well, it broke out of the range that it was trading in for some time. And now we have a nice bullish candle close. So with this one here as well, watch out for a bit of a pullback here, potentially towards 1805, 1806 level, and then looking for that continuation higher into the next target level at 1875. So bullish bias for gold. Oil here, oil seems to be struggling a bit, but it's still maintaining that upwards trend. So we could see a bit of a bounce off of this and a continuation. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Right now, it is coming into resistance, and this is an important support resistance level. So watch out here. So right now, neutral bias, I would say we have a large pin on the top. So in this case, it could turn around like this as well. So this is the range it's been trading in for all this time. So right now, neutral bias, I will look for a retest of 66.50. And if it fails here, then we'll look for a drop back down into the range. So neutral bias for oil. Copper here, completely just shooting higher. So bias here is bullish. It went through all kinds of resistance levels here. So right now, next target 4.75 and then 4.8 basically. So bullish bias here for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin is at, I think it was 57.6. Thanks, Salvatore. So here with this concern is the resistance that it's into at 58,780. So this is where it has struggled. And if it fails to hold, we are basically looking for a move back. Right now, it is neutral. It's been stuck in this range for last several days. And if it fails to go through, we could, like I said, go back. Now, once it breaks though, then we'll be looking at the high here. Okay, so right now, neutral bias for Bitcoin. Stock market here on fire. Again, so still looking bullish here. As we can see, price has finally broken through that level. So next target here is 4250 and then 4300. So bullish bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq also looking bullish, but this one not as strong. But nice bounce off of the support here. So I'm looking for price to go back into the top here, into the highs. First target 13,800 and then 14,000. So bullish bias here for Nasdaq as well. Dow Jones here, this one also broke out of that range. Nice positive numbers. So bias is bullish here. 35,250 is the target here for Dow Jones. And DAX as well, looking quite bullish here. Next target is 15,500. So bullish bias for DAX. And then FTSE here also looking quite bullish, right into here, into the resistance here. So just be careful with that one, but bias is bullish. We have a little bit of the inefficient move left here. So looking for this one to go higher as well. First target is 7220 and then 7,300. So bullish bias for FTSE as well. And then Nikkei also maintaining that slight upward bias. So with this one here, this one is still trading in this range here. So right now, next target would be 29,800 and then 30,250. So bullish bias here for Nikkei as well. All right, so that's it for today. You guys have a wonderful trading week, and I will be back with my daily analysis tomorrow. Bye for now.